I guess this will be another one of those, should I really even show this videos? But that never has stopped me before. I'm in the middle of completely rewiring this car. I've got brand new wiring harnesses from tail lights to headlights and in between, I guess you could say. And I ordered my wiring harnesses from Electric Lights, or Electric Limited. I don't know if you can see that on there. I'm really satisfied with the wiring harnesses. They've got all the ends and they give you some pretty good wiring diagrams. That's the old harness that came out, and it really wasn't too bad. This new harness, as you can see, it comes with new light fixtures and all the correct electrical ends, which those were things that I needed for my, because the other one, all the plastic had gone bad, even though the wiring seemed kind of pliable. But I'll show you more about what's going on there in just a second. But figuring out how all this stuff goes is quite a bit of a challenge, and what the order is too. I never have been that good at electrical. And, oh man, you know, like everybody else, I first put the new wiring harness in and hooked everything up. But then I had quite a bit of trouble plugging those lights into the back of the instrument cluster. And I needed to be a little bit closer to where I'm working at. So what I found works actually best is to, I disconnected all my wires and I got the harness to where I can move it out a lot further. And with this speedometer cluster laying here like this, I'll put some rags on top of my steering column so that things hopefully don't get scratched up. I got a little bit more room to work with and plug these lights in. Man, they're a challenge to pop in. So maybe this will work better, but you know, while I'm doing this stuff, I found that there's a lot of things that I've had to redo, like the clutch pedals and things like that. That whole assembly, I thought that was done because it's freshly painted and everything, but there were clips and things that were missing and bushings. Had to make those. So, you know, this is taking a lot longer than I would like. I'm also working a whole bunch of hours at work. So I've been on this project now for about 2 weeks, and I was hoping to knock it out in one weekend. But once all this new wiring is in, that will make a difference in this car becoming drivable. So I'm really looking forward to that, but I fought trying to get those wires hooked to the back of that speedometer cluster for the longest time, and this seems like the ticket. I'll hook it to the back of the cluster first, and then run the wires through the firewall and connect those to the harness right here under the firewall. Interesting note, a few months ago, Denny Salvage came by and filmed my cars, and we did a drive around in several of them, even this car when it still had the 427, and he filmed that almost like a cars with coffee type of thing. He made that video, and it's called A Ride with Resto Dan by Dennis Salvage. But it's number 50. Turned out to be what I thought was a pretty good little video. If you want to see my cars and hear me tell some of my stories, that might be good to check out. But anyway, eventually I will have all new wiring on this car. Some people have questioned, well, why did you paint it first and now you're putting the wires in? Well, I didn't want to have paint overspray on my wiring harnesses, my new harnesses. So everything's kind of like 6 1/2 dozen of the other. Which do you paint first, the door jambs or the exterior of the car? Either way, you wind up messing the paint up if you're not careful. But let me get back to what I was doing. And this will make the difference in being able to take off and go drive this car on a long haul. Before, I just kind of had it hot wired. I had a few wires and to make it run, and no lights, and it worked. But with my 5-speed, I am looking forward to being able to take this car on longer cruise. I didn't want to order the 5-speed gear shift ball, but I got to looking at it and I liked it, so I didn't want to advertise that it wasn't a 4-speed anymore. But that 5-speed works so well, I might as well brag about it, I guess. Anyway, well, I'm going to get back to hooking all this up, and if that turns out to be a good idea, I'll go ahead and upload this video. If not, the only next thing I can think of is to pull the whole instrument cluster completely out, hook all the wires to the back of it, and then set that up there and start running the wires through the car. I'm sure that's probably the way they did it at the factory. But needless to say, the first, second, and third, or however many attempts I've done at this, were not how it was supposed to be done. Anyway, thanks for watching.